October is shaping up to be the inverse of September in major trends and tendencies that weave throughout the entire month. In the past weeks, Venus in Scorpio may have stirred up relationships and social connections in general. At the same time, individual work, carried out with diligence and quiet but sharp focus, was very well supported because of planetary presences and aspects in the realms of Virgo and Libra in the Zodiac. In what lies ahead, a complementary effect is in the forecast for October. In other words, social and romantic relationships will receive an upgrade and more clarity and universal support, while at the same time, too much focus on individuality, immediate needs and wants, and excessive time spent on any forms of inner retreat will likely be challenged. In October, the overall pleasant, positive, and efficient energetic signature of August and September will remain active. We are well advised to harness the supportive, creative nature of these qualities and keep being active and focused in what we do. And as we make progress, we will be just as well encouraged to share the bounty and include others in our efforts too. Towards the end of the month, this later prognosis will actually become of key importance. For as we turn our focus away from our ego and its incessant demands, and make a conscious effort to remain social, pay attention to each other and spend time together, we keep out of the trouble of getting too stuck inside our own self. In previous years, due in large part to difficult planetary aspects and constellations playing out below, October turned out to be a consistently challenging time of the year. This year, however, it could be one of the most harmonious, successful months, if we manage to navigate things with grace and skill in our social and human relations, and avoid getting involved in most matters of deep inner quest or any part we play in the world's troubles. The first week in October will feel relatively quiet as a few important aspects still wind down. The September forecast, and especially its last few sections on current constellations, may be a very good reminder of what is happening, so maybe consider listening again, or rereading it. The first noteworthy effect of the new month will take a few days to arrive. On Wednesday, October 6th, out of 10 planets, 4 will be conjunct in Libra. These are Mercury, ruling the archetypal child, the Moon, governing femininity, womanhood, and specifically motherhood, the Sun, which means masculine qualities, archetypal mature male aspects, and specifically father and husband, and Mars, the planet that among others, rules manliness and virility. Their close encounter in Libra, which is the zodiacal realm of romantic relationships, eroticism and dating, makes the chance of conceiving very high and very auspicious on this day. Especially if you are planning to have children, it is very well supported, and the chances are even higher for couples who are not yet in the committed relationship that is marriage, but still in courtship. Another reason to pay attention is that this stellium, including Mercury, the Moon, the Sun and Mars, will be squared off by Pluto, one of the ruling planets of karma. This raises the stakes of an unplanned or surprise pregnancy even higher, so if you are not ready to have children, try to be extra careful at this time. Between Thursday, October 7th and Tuesday, October 12th, the Sun, governing our higher, authentic self, and Mercury, the ruling planet of active and creative expression of this higher self, will be conjunct in Libra. This constellation provides a very beneficial, potent, complementary effect to anything that may have gone off balance during Venus transit in Scorpio, in romantic relationships specifically, and in human connections at large. These 5 days here are auspicious for restoring a sense of harmony and equilibrium. Consider recharging with a concert, musical or theater performance, or anything that falls in the categories of quality relaxing or artistic entertainment. Simultaneously with the ongoing flux of the Sun and Mercury, between Thursday, October 7th and Wednesday, October 13th, Mars will also be conjunct with Mercury. Mars governs our ambitions, our ego, and individual powers and strengths that move us. Mercury rules the expressive, active, and thinking aspects of who we are. Their flux will have a stimulating effect, which may manifest as strange tensions and frustration at the personal level. Or with enough awareness and conscious navigation, it may boost our active side and bring a fresh sense of motivation and impulse. On Thursday, October 7th, Venus, the planet that rules romantic relationships and graceful human interactions, as well as balance and harmony, will change signs. This is very good news because Venus was in exile in Scorpio, where it received plenty of acerbic, intense and festering energetic exposures in the past month. Sagittarius is a much more welcoming realm to the planet, and will provide an uplift and a shimmer to qualities Venus represents once again. October is a big month in the sense that out of the multiple retrograde planets, 3 will turn direct again within just a few days. All 3 play a grandiose role in large themes such as karma and fate, both at the level of the collective and that of the personal. After months in the retrograde phase, their changing course is worthy of our attention. On Thursday, October 7th, Pluto will go direct first, followed by Saturn on Monday, October 11th, with Jupiter closing the sequence a week later on Monday, October 18th. In previous forecasts, we advised to refrain from deep inner work during the months of August and September and put our focus into all matters of mundane activities, with periods of resting and refreshing social activities in between. This was all the more supported during planetary transits in the zodiacal realms of Virgo and Libra. The 3 giants shifting course in Capricorn and Aquarius respectively may prompt a noticeable pull away from the world and draw us further into inner retreat, turning our attention to more individual matters. Between Saturday, October 9th and Monday, October 18th, Venus will start to receive more benevolent support from the great teacher and order maker planet. New to Sagittarius for her fresh transit, Venus will stay in a smooth and pleasant flux with Saturn for 9 days after her exile in Scorpio in the past month. Their flux will likely clear up any residual drama or tension in romantic relationships in particular, and in human relationships in general. Further good news is that in case anomalies affecting the skin, urinary tracts, or the reproductive organs were to show up, Venus and Saturn's aspect will more likely bring permanent healing to these areas as well. Between Sunday, October 10th and Wednesday, October 20th, 2 very noble celestial dignities, also noted for their mature masculine qualities, will enter into an abundant and highly benevolent flux with each other. Both the Sun and Jupiter are currently transiting air signs in Libra and Aquarius respectively, which is auspicious for all matters related to communication and business. Their trine will also assist in our relationships with significant male figures such as husbands and especially grandfathers in our lives. Mature men in general may feel a boost in ideas and perspectives, which are very well supported during this constellation. Between Monday, October 11th and Tuesday, October 26th, another planet noted for its primarily strong masculine qualities will join the same aspect. Mars entering into a trine with Jupiter will further energize active and vibrant ways of being, and have an overall very positive and supportive effect on getting things done. From Tuesday, October 12th until Friday, October 22nd, an aspect between the Sun in Libra and Pluto in Capricorn will counterbalance the overall upbeat, dynamic and benevolent fluxes, including Mars, the Sun and Jupiter. The Sun and Pluto's square will likely bring a sense of confusion, obfuscation and tension into an otherwise active and hopeful period, and stir up things of the deep past. Strange dreams and even weird daytime visions may occur seemingly out of nowhere while we go about our business and tend to our mundane tasks. With enough awareness, however, any irrational thoughts, ideas or inclinations that may occur can be successfully navigated, briefly pause and return to the breath, should they appear. With the Sun in Libra, chances are that restoring balance inexplicably thrown off kilter should be all the easier. Between Thursday, October 14th and Saturday, October 23rd, Mercury, the planet that governs thinking, communication, and everyday routines, will enter into the most beneficial and supportive flux with the great organizer planet Saturn. At halftime during this constellation, which holds the potential for feeling on track and in focus, Mercury turns direct again. After a 3-week-long retrograde period, this will mean more support for staying active and efficient while Mercury and Saturn's overall very positive aspect also lasts. Between Thursday, October 14th and Sunday, November 14th, for an entire month, a pleasant and harmonious flux between Venus and Mercury will be active. Their aspect is expected to bring positive energetic influences into romantic relationships in particular, and social relations in general. In addition, the 2 planets' sextile has a very interesting, complementary quality to their respective signatures and current positions in the zodiac. On the one hand, Mercury is intense and erotically, creatively charged on the border of Libra and Scorpio, and on the other hand, Venus in Sagittarius is noble and has a truly decent air about her. Their extended encounter makes auspicious timing for seeking a partner and starting to date. In case you are already in a relationship, make a point about spending quality time together. The mirror that relationships provide can offer an experience that covers the entire spectrum of what it means to be human. Venus and Mercury's flux in their current respective realms of the zodiac will be supportive of a genuinely positive exploration at this time. On Thursday, October 14th, another, parallel effect will become active that calls for our attention in a rather different way. On this day, intense and ambitious Mars enters in a tense square with Pluto in Capricorn, and will remain there until Friday, October 29th, challenging the deep past and whatever has been suppressed. Keeping in mind the aspect between Mercury and Venus, and what they have in store for us in our romantic and social relationships, the key will be to draw on the energy between these two planets and stay the course of the noble higher road. This will help with keeping things cool in a healthy, mature way. If we go with the less reserved, heated and more ego-driven qualities of this aspect, however, we may get burned. A good visual illustration straight out of Downton Abbey might be to act like a lady or gentleman by day, in a cultured, reserved manner, but unleash the more sensual, earthy, and erotic part of our nature when the night falls. When we are able to remain open and vigilant in such a way, and pay attention not just to our own, but to others' needs as well, peace will prevail. The less opportune scenario during this period would be to stay closed and selfish and retreat away from each other. On Tuesday, October 19th, Mercury, the planet that governs our thinking, communication, and life's everyday routines, will turn direct after 3 weeks of retrograde motion in Libra. The realm of this balanced and harmonious sign in the zodiac has likely not been a terrible ordeal for Mercury. Chances are that as the planet shifts course once again, our activities and cognition will get a welcome boost. Between Friday, October 22nd and Sunday, October 31st, Venus, the planet of relationships, graceful human interactions, and social life, will receive some effects in her square with Neptune that will dim her charms and slow her down. During the month of September, the planet was in a compromised position in Scorpio. In the month of October, her qualities have received an upgrade and all positive stimulations. Within the period of this aspect with Neptune, however, we may feel a need to rest or retreat, but in one way or another, a sense of slumber may settle in towards the end of the month. On Saturday, October 23rd, the Sun enters Scorpio. Every year, this is a time of greater introspection, and the need to reorganize or reevaluate things may be unavoidable and even necessary. For the entire month-long period of the Sun's transit of Scorpio, human relationships may get messy. With Sagittarius following, however, resolutions come and a time of celebration arrives, and we may forget about any altercations or difficult issues for a while. On the same day, Saturday, October 23rd, active and qualitatively masculine Mars and the Sun's conjunction also ends. This event, too, will reduce the impulsive, doing and dynamic aspects of life, steering our focus towards the more inner recesses of being. Expect a lower sense of productivity settling in at this time. Between Saturday, October 23rd and Wednesday, November 3rd, Venus, the planet that governs human relationships, graceful social interactions, balance and harmony, will be in a pleasant and sweet sextile with the great benefactor planet Jupiter. Both planets are in areas of the zodiac that will energetically boost the abundant, providing nature of this flux, from Sagittarius and Aquarius, respectively. Venus and Jupiter's aspect is also a welcome counterbalance to the more unsettling energetic effects of the Sun's transit in Scorpio, and of Mars' arrival at the border zone between Libra and Scorpio. With enough awareness, the best navigational advice for this period is to pay attention to others in our relationships, and heed any tendencies we notice about acting too selfishly or from a place that isolates us from the rest. Regardless, within the same timeframe, our higher, authentic self may claim a bigger part of our attention, due mostly to a difficult flux between the Sun and Saturn. Between Monday, October 25th and Thursday, November 4th, their square may compromise our sense of integrity and order when troubling issues from the deep past suddenly rise to the surface and show up internally or even in our external reality. Throughout September, everything that had to do with our individuality and claiming our personal space was very much supported, and relationships and social interactions were in a less advantageous position. At the end of October, it will feel like this tendency is shifting and turning into the exact opposite scenario. We will best be served by connection to others. If we focus too much on ourselves, we will likely be struggling. So as the month is ending, we may need to pay extra attention whenever the need to look deep within is calling. Too much self-analysis or entanglement in personal issues may be well intended, but is not auspicious at this time. On Thursday, October 28th, for a week, Mercury, the planet that governs thinking, communication, and everyday routines, will enter into an abundant and highly beneficial trine with the great benefactor planet Jupiter. The qualities of this aspect will likely help a great deal with being our authentic self in the world, and it is also supportive of getting things done in a rewarding and satisfactory way. At exactly the same time, however, between Thursday, October 28th and Friday, November 5th, Mercury will be in a flux that is the polar opposite of its trine with Jupiter. The most notable qualities of the square are tension, frustration, and confusion. Pluto in Capricorn stirs deeply buried, hidden aspects of the psyche. The two planets dynamic in their respective areas of the zodiac may have a disturbing, unsettling effect on us, and impede an otherwise very uplifting trend also present in our lives. Between Saturday, October 30th and Tuesday, November 9th, the Sun in Scorpio will enter into opposition with Uranus, the planet of future perspectives in grounded and stable Taurus. Similarly to Mars, the Sun also means ego and self, but at a higher, more advanced and mature level. This aspect carries a similar message to fluxes discussed earlier, calling our attention to be wary of becoming too caught up in our individuality. The way out is to find balance between external and internal realities, and to try to put our energy into collaborative efforts. Between Saturday, October 30th and Thursday, November 4th, Saturn joins the constellation between the Sun and Uranus, and the three form a T-square, which is always a time when things are under the radar, so to speak. The energetic qualities of the participants, and the signs they are transiting, tend to be much less accessible or clear during such a constellation. The best counsel is to reduce our ambitions, and as a general rule, slow down as the month is coming to an end. On Sunday, October 31st, Mars enters Scorpio. The planet governs our personal strengths and ambitions, and our ego. In addition, Mars is in exile in Libra, and at home in Scorpio. The million-dollar question seems to be, which scenario is better for us, Mars in Libra or a Scorpio Mars? Empirically, when the planet is in Libra, social interactions get messy, intensified, and conflicts abound, and gender and opposite-sex issues tend to be in the focus a lot more noticeably. In the planet's traditional home in Scorpio, Mars is supposedly much better placed. Yet Scorpio highlights blocked energetics associated with Mars, and during the planet's transit of the sign, a multitude of suppressed, inflamed and acerbic energies tend to rise to the surface. On the physical level, this may show up as headaches, toothache, heart and cardiovascular health issues. Also common are problems related to the liver, the gallbladder, the reproductive organs, and the joints in the form of inflammation, swellings, and infections during this period. The agitated, incendiary qualities of a Mars-Scorpio transit have shown up consistently in world events such as sporadic violence, political clashes, and military threats in past years. Mars energies are qualitatively self-centered, intense, abrupt, and closed or shut in, and the planet's transits in Libra and Scorpio have created a potent force to induce such behaviors or attitudes. The best way to navigate Mars might is to look for progressively higher roads in the zodiac, and align with areas and current events that are more harmonious, inclusive, and noble. At the personal as well as collective levels, we are best served by staying open, upbeat, and connective in our relationships and social circles, and when we remain team-minded and physically engaged in steady and ongoing activities.